Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. And I greet you with the love and the honor of the universe and of the infinite creator. And I always wish blessings upon each and one of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being around. And I've been having these little, messages that come to me, and a lot of people are having a lot of conversations about shamans and the journey and so forth. And tonight I've been prompted to come outside. I'm sitting right outside my house here. I really have no idea how the light's going to work with this, but I don't think you can see the lights on my house. I was trying to keep it kind of dark. That's my house right there behind me. And so I'm facing south. I'm sitting outside, and it's actually a beautiful evening down here in South Georgia. And I got a candle sitting here. I'm trying to stay with natural light, and it's not about how well lit I am or what my circumstances are, but it's the fact that I'm outside and I'm sitting on the ground with Mother Earth. In the background, you can hear the crickets. Well, some of them are crickets, most of them are frogs, because we got a flooded rain last night. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity. Plus, I'm outside looking up at the stars. And hi, LOI Station Z. I'm going to try to keep from putting on my glasses because it's really fuzzy with the candlelight and everything. So, but I wanted to discuss what is a ceremony, and in a way, I'm doing a ceremony right now as I speak with you. Melanie, how are you? Good evening. And so spirits prompted me to do this, like, you know, this is very unplanned, but very much, spirit moved me and said, we need to come outside and do a little drum. We need to come outside and have the conversation with the universe. And, as much as you all know who've hung out with me in the least, you know that my vibrations, I want to send out the best vibrations to the universe as I possibly can. And so with that said, it's like, okay, so you know what my goal is, you know what my um, intention is for the universe. It's a little chilly, but I put on my camouflage outside, so none of the creepy critters can find me. I'm camouflaged. But anyway, so I wanted to I wanted to discuss things that are important in a ceremony. And while I'm discussing with you, then I'm going to be doing it. So it's sort of a show and tell, but not, but it is, but it's not. So anyway, you all know me well enough to know that, okay, I'm going to move this a little bit. I've got another candle over here and was trying to see if there was just a little bit more light. Not that that's important. But anyway, one of the most important things is, why do you want to have a ceremony? Tell me, is the light enough that you can see my ugly mug out here? Oh, Melanie, I think you said yes. It's nice. I'm not sure if you were uh, referring to the light or not, but anyway, one of the things you want to first, figure out if you want to do some type of a ceremony. What is a ceremony to you? Hi, Marie. Good to see you. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope things are well down your way. I know it's been hotter than a mug down there, and so. Thank you, Melanie. You can see me well. Yeah, it's not about how lit I can be, because one of the things I wanted to be able to do was to be able to keep an eye on the stars and watch this. I got some information here the last couple of days that told me that I need to keep an eye on the skies, which is fine with me. But Orion is sitting right there. Well, you can't really see where my arm's pointing, but it's right there. The three belts and the head's down this way, and there is Sirius. And in my opinion, they're way too high in the sky, and they're positioned wrong. Just to give you a current update. Um, but to the things with ceremony. Now, one of the things that in as a shaman, you want to keep things as close to the earth as possible. So you want to use natural things. For example, if I'm going to light a candle or sage or something like that, I use old style kitchen matches. They're wooden, and rather than trying to light something with a lighter. And now there are different types of sage and so forth that you can get. And currently, I'm mostly out of white sage. So I used rub sage. This is not a plug for any particular kind, but I use rub sage from the store. Now, you can use the ground sage, but it doesn't burn near as well. So the things that I want to do is first figure out, do I know what I'm doing? What about the ceremony? How crazy is this? What am I asking? What are my wishes? So my prayer tonight is just to the universe. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that my little environment, my aura and everything is smudged clean and clear. Because before you can start any type of ceremony, I say regardless of your intentions, hopefully it's a good intention, but that you wish to cleanse yourself so that the energy that you send out into the universe is offered up as clean as possible. You know, you want to have yourself cleared. It's sort of like taking a bath in the spirit world, if you will, by smudging yourself. Now, if you don't have sage, sweet grass, even um, green pine needles, there are different things that you can use. The whole idea is that if you burn something for Creator or for Mother Earth, you choose an evergreen, be it juniper or you know s- different types of pine. You can burn the bark of some of these trees with just a little bit of dried juniper and so forth underneath, and it makes a pleasant smell, and you can smudge with it as well. Okay, so there are lots of things in nature that Creator and Mother Earth has given us so that we may be able to, regardless of where we're at. I mean, we don't really grow sage around here down in South Georgia, but it's very plentiful out west, and that's fine. But Creator gave the folks over here on the East Coast just as many spiritual things to be able to bless yourself with and to clear yourself and the area around you. So I've got a little container here, and I've put some sage in here, and I'm going to use a wooden match, and I'm going to light it. And during that, I'm kind of thinking to myself, and I guess I can say this out loud versus think it. But as I light this, I'm thinking to myself as a prayer, basically, my intentions. I'm lighting this sage with the intention of using the smoke from the sage to cleanse my spirit so I will have clean energy for my ceremony. It's as simple as that. But that is a magic spell in a lot of ways because you're setting up match, light, what your intentions are, and what you wish to accomplish when you do it. This is all very important because if you just go willy nilly and light stuff, it doesn't have near the impact if you follow through with all of the steps, because that's basically what a spell is. Why do witches do things? Why do they have incantation? You have to follow the instructions. Okay. Now, there's nothing kind of woo woo about this. I'm simply going to smudge myself and say a prayer to the universe. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not trying to do any kind of woody woody. This is just to show you what a simple ceremony can be. So I'm lighting the matches. Okay, use the candle. It's sitting right here. They're old matches. But I always light the candle first with the intention of it's going to be part of my ceremony. Now, you say, okay, let's define what a ceremony is. My intention tonight was to just come out here and say thank you to the universe and to invite as many people who might be available tonight to share with this live kind of test on how this is going to work, if it's going to work. if it makes sense to any of you, which I hope it does. And so, with this, I'm lighting this sage with the intention that all of your prayers are included with mine, that we all wish for a better tomorrow, that we all wish for a higher reality, and so forth. Now, in a Native American ceremony specifically, now other ceremonies use this. You always thank the four directions. You always thank the up and the down and the inside. So to the east, I say thank you. To the south, I say thank you. To the west, I say thank you. To the north, I say thank you. That's just to the universe. You're acknowledging those things around. To the universe, I thank the above. To the universe, I thank the below. And to the universe, I thank the inside, which is inside each one of us. Now, that's a simple introduction. Now, in a Native American ceremony, I would have made a circle outside. I would have blessed the circle. I would have used, I have certain ceremonial blankets that I've used in the past. And all of these things aren't necessarily necessary. It depends, it's sort of a workup in my brain to the precursor of the ceremony. So I'll bless certain rocks. I'll, cleanse this. I won't eat for a day or very lightly. I'll refrain from, certain things and I'll stay in meditation. If I'm trying to, do a highfalutin large ceremony or something to, invite other people for the drum. Now, the next other thing that I would do because of my Native American background, and I have tobacco here. So I roll my own tobacco out of this old case that I've had for years. Don't complain about the plastic. It's made out of plastic, but it's like 40 years old. Seriously. But anyway, so I take a little bit of tobacco as because tobacco has been declared one of the magical herbs. Then I offer a little bit to each direction. I just take a little pinch, and this is my offering to the spirits of the south, to the east, to the west. Don't follow me on directions on this. I'm just doing this because there is an order, and also I'm making um, an offering to the spirits in the north. Now, this is a down and dirty quickie, if you will, but this is, you would go through this and turn in each of the directions in order to perform the ceremony, to do it correctly. I'm just sitting here on the ground looking up at the stars and having a chat with y'all. But so, with that said, though, then the next other thing, and I don't have my ceremonial pipe with me, so I'm just going to roll me a paper cigarette here some with some tobacco papers. Wow, the light just changed. That was interesting. Let's see what happens here. So as you do the ceremony, whatever it may be, and my intent for this thing, the whole time I'm talking to you, the whole time I was preparing this, which if I'd have thought about it 2 days ago that I was going to do it tonight, of course I didn't know it was going to be clear, I would have taken a little bit more time and done a little bit more preparation, but it doesn't matter. It has to do with our intent. The ceremony is all about intent. So if you bring a crystal, what's the intent that you're going to use the crystal for? Do you want to pre-program the crystal with some kind of intent before your ceremony? So yes, if the ceremony is to like heal someone or to gain knowledge or something like that, you want to make sure that whatever you take into your circle of ceremony, whatever it is, I mean, I just have 2 candles, some sage burning, and some tobacco. That is a ceremony. One candle would have worked, but I got two going because I'm outside and I wanted to make sure y'all could at least see part of me. And there is a lot to be said about numbers. In a single candle, well, I wanted two. I actually wanted three, but the other one wasn't. I didn't know where to put it, quite frankly. But anyway, so it's all about intent. So now, with my intent, I say, okay, so I've blessed my surroundings. I have smudged myself. I have offered the smudge to the four directions, up, down, and inside, which is very important, by the way. There are not four directions or six, there are seven. So the more that you understand the things about Mother Nature and what goes on around in Mother Nature, the significance of just saying, there's no God, I'm not praying to any God or any spirit per se when I say to the East. It's to the spirits of the East, all spirits, all creation that live in the East, to all spirits who live in the South, all the spirits up, down, and within. So it's not that I'm trying to pray to any particular God or anything. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with my intention is actually to the universe. Where a lot of people would say, well, Hawkeye, you're doing this thing. And what you want to do then is, it's some kind of pagan thing. Well, it's surely not Christian, technically. But as an altar boy growing up in the Catholic Church, there are all kinds of crappy candles everywhere. They use incense a lot. I love that incense that they used back in the day. I was always the incense guy in the Catholic Church while the priest was, pinching my butt. Now, with this, you say, okay, I'm smoking a cigarette. Well, I lit this cigarette with the intent because I look at in this ceremony here, tobacco is a sacred herb. And so with the tobacco, I'm not going to smoke it. I'm going to use the tobacco sort of like a peace pipe, if you will. And my prayers, I'm going to offer up with the smoke of the tobacco. That's what the tobacco was originally for. And it's been, you know, horribly bastardized and etc. But with that said, then I'm going to do this next portion of the ceremony. To the Creator and to the universe, I thank you for all of the blessings. To the East, I offer my prayers upon this sacred tobacco smoke. To the South, I offer all of the prayers of the universe to heal this planet Earth. To the West and to all of the knowledge of the past, I say thank you, and may our prayers be answered upon the wind of this tobacco. And to all of the beings in the North who keep us protected during the winter time and who are the other beings that keep an eye on us, I say thank you for watching over us. Above me, I offer my prayer through the tobacco smoke. To below me, I offer the tobacco smoke to the earth and to the beings that reside there, and all the ethereal animals and creatures and things. And my final is for me, within, and within all of you. Now, I can only extend that in a prayer. You have to accept or receive it. That's up to you, but no pressure here. It's not that you just joined a cult. It's just that I just offer up our prayers in a Native American traditional style. Now, it's a style. This is not a perfect, quote, Native American ceremony. I'm giving you some basic things. This is what a Native American would do. This is how the prayers would be offered. And this is how they do it, approximately. Now, there's a little bit more into it, but mostly it's with intent. So the circle that is put up beforehand and the circle that is blessed with sage and with whatever crystals or other type of rocks that need to go around, however the big the space is. Now I'm sitting on a blanket outside, just outside my back door here, and actually it's the front door, but who's counting? Um, little coffee break here. You will hear me repeat the words intent because it is all about intent. So my intent to have this live stream with this little ceremony here was just show you how easy it is to come out and sit with nature. Come out, the frogs have quieted down. It's gotten a little colder, and when the temperature drops, all the frogs quit. It was really loud earlier, I gotta say, and my backyard is flooded for the first time in several years. It's really flooded. And it's like, OMG. I mean, since like 2013. So I've got water in my backyard. I'm very pleased. And so I'm making this offering to the universe to just say thank you. Thank you for the extra rain. Thank you for flooding my backyard when it used to happen 2 or 3 times a year. It now only happens once every 7 years. Thank you. Thank you to bring normalcy back to this planet and where I'm sitting at the moment. So, with that said, um, if my drum didn't get too thunky, I want to do just a little bit of drum in the background, not too loud. And it's not about how loud you drum. It's the fact that you're doing the rhythm of the drum. And with that, then I can hear Mother Earth come up through my feet. I've got this large drum. It's a 16-inch Native American drum. It was made by a friend of mine who specializes in Native American drums. And I've apprenticed with her for years and made some drums for her as well that turned out very nice. I was proud to say. She was very proud of the work that I did as her apprentice. But anyway, so with that, I have my drum, and I can't find my beater, but that's not important. Now, if a drum gets wet, which it's doing because I'm sitting outside, I got like 12 cats in my yard. They're all in heat. Oh my God, it's a mess. Y'all get out of here. Go do that somewhere else. It's not like right here is the only place. I think the cats like the candlelight or something, and this must be more romantic for them. Who knows? But anyway, I'm sitting here warming the drum with my hand because it sat out here and gotten a little bit of the dew on it just in the last 20 minutes that I've been on the air. And the drum will the hide will absorb moisture, and if you don't keep the drum warm enough, then when you try to drum it, it'll go thunk. It won't drum. It goes thunk. It's a horrible sound, and so you have to warm up the hide or get um, the moisture out of it. And so all I'm doing is rotating my hand on the drum to heat it up just with my own with my own energy, and also I can feel the dampness, so I'm rubbing the dampness off to try to. There's a little bit of thunkiness in it right now. Thunk. That's my word for it. So there are times when I hear a prayer in my head that I sing, and sometimes it's just that I sit and I let the drum speak to me. Because I'm doing, my intent is to not necessarily duplicate Mother Earth, but the sound of the drum is my interpretation of the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So a lot of people will say, well, what is the symbology of the drum? If you go to a Native American powwow, the drummers who drum will fast for a day or two beforehand. They say prayers over the drum. They have to keep the drum in certain ways. They just don't bring in something and sit down and do it. They prepare, and they're serious about their drumming. You just don't go in and set in with them. So right now, as I'm drumming, I'm speaking to you, but I've got a mental thing going on here. Is that I can hear an old song in my head. I haven't done a song in a while, so I would probably embarrass myself. So I'm just going to sing it in my head right now. I'll have to do a little practice. I've been kept from drumming for several years, and now they're telling me it's time for me to drum again, for me to show other people, and to continue this journey of what a shaman is. So you say, okay, Hawkeye, what's next with this? I'm sitting here drumming, and with that, I'm just asking the spirits. I'm asking the good spirits in my head. And I could call out and say, any good spirits near here, come sit by my fire. Come sit and join the drumming that I have for Mother Earth. I do this in respect. I do this um, with honor, and I do this with love to Mother Earth and to the universe. Now, the some of these words are important in that I speak about the universe. I speak in simple terms. There is magic in the words that I speak, but I'm speaking them not as magic, but as honor and respect to the universe. Wait on the way, hey, why now, hey, hey, wait on the hey, why now, hey, why, hey, now, wait on the hey, why, hey, now, hey, wait on hey, why, hey, money, why now, why, hey, 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 why, hey, now, hey. Aho, wado. So that was a surprise little bit of song at the end of that drum, but it's what comes naturally from you. It's not a prescribed thing. And I've had people ask me, well, say, well, how do you know what you're speaking? And I've had medicine men sit down with me and they go, that's a very ancient tongue you're speaking. And I'm like, I know it like the back of my hand, but I don't know the words, but I know what the intent is. And the intent is healing, it's in respect, it's in love for Mother Earth and all beings in the universe. And I can feel it in my chest when I drum, especially when I use my thumb on the corner of the drum, like a lot of Celtic type drums and so forth. There are names for them and I can't think of them at the moment. This drum's getting really funky. I got to put it inside my jacket so it'll stay warm. Yeah, I got a bunch of cats out here. But so anyway, so it's like, okay, so then what is the purpose of this ceremony? Well, the purpose of this ceremony, then, as I would drum and offer my song in prayer, as I've just done, is to then just ask the universe, you know, what you got for me? What kind of wisdom can you share with me? Now, I didn't come out here with any other intent to, you know, conjure up any kind of thing or thought or, am I looking for anything? No. The whole purpose of this was to give you a basic opportunity to be able to see what a ceremony is like. Now, I could have lit up the yard and done all this other kind of stuff, but the whole idea of it is to be in an intimate self. You can light a candle in the kitchen and achieve some very wonderful things, or in a comfortable chair or sitting in your favorite whatever your little place is. And because I am who I am and a hermit and live down in the woods, it's easy for me to walk outside and sit down on Mother Earth and do these things. Now I do have hot spots in the yard where it draws me out yonder. Maybe 50, 75 feet away from here. And it's a really good place to drum and dance. And there have been times when I have been caught up in what the Ukrainians and Russians would call the whirling dervish, the ones who dance and spin and spin and dance and dance and spin and spin. And oh my God, there's something to that. Oh my gosh. So, depending on what I'm being drawn to do and the intent, my reason intent is always basically the same. It's for healing. It may be for a specific type of healing, or I might say, there's like war in China, my prayers to stop it, or, I might have a more directed intent for the prayer versus just saying, well, I think I'll got to dump out a little candle wax there. Um, that my prayer or my ceremony would be directed more to that. Now, most of the times when I do a ceremony, it's for a healing, and usually 9 times out of 10, it's for somebody else. Well, actually, 9.5 times out of 10, I very rarely do a ceremony for myself. That's another thing. Now, not that shamans shouldn't or can't do a ceremony for the self, because sometimes, like tonight, after I do this video, I'm sitting outside and nothing's plugged in, and I get too much farther from the house, I lose the Wi-Fi. But anyway, but I want, I'm going to spend a little bit of time outside staring up at the stars, because it just seems like there's some energy that's coming in right now, from out yonder, wherever you want to call it, and that it's having a definite effect. And I know many of you've heard me talk about it for a while now, but it seems to be coming in. And I've checked some instruments and things. And what I was told last night when I was having a conversation with a dear friend of mine, and was that these energies we can't see because they're in the fourth dimension. So a lot of the things that we're feeling, and some of us are picking things up. And I live literally, it's been years since I've come outside to drum, and now it's like there's like a giant magnet sucking me outside, saying, "You're going to do the ceremony now." And probably by the end of the evening, I'll probably be out yonder in the field doing a drum type dance, whirling dervish kind of thing. We'll see how that. I'll let you know how that works out. But to the point, I see you all in there in the chat, and I got to try to stay focused over here. And thank you all very much. I hope that you felt our presence with you. I do feel your presence with you. Actually, I do. And I was trying not to think about it too much. I was like, I'm doing this simple ceremony to include you all in this little thing right now. But only you can actually share it. So thank you very much. Oh, I'm honored that you guys are hanging out with me this evening. I was really hoping that this would work. And as you probably noticed, I haven't really, Megan, you're very welcome, and blessings to all of you. But if you've noticed, have I really done anything magical? Is there anything religious that I've just done? No, but there is a ceremony of things, and that is that you give honor with the things from the earth, and you give honor to the universe back, and you include your thoughts of Mother Earth. So, as a shaman, and I'm still a shaman in training with this stuff, y'all. I mean, I've got a lot of knowledge, but I still don't, I haven't figured out how to walk through walls yet. So my job isn't done, quite frankly. But, that's humorous, but it's not, but it is, but it isn't. Anyway, just a little bit of craziness there. But with that said, though, for each one of you and each one of us, our journey is within. So how do we get in touch with that is within? There are the four directions, there's the up and the down, but how many people really think about this other realm that's within? And a couple of days ago, I did a video and I was speaking about the soul and what the soul looks like. And it's sort of, I can see a little bit of gold right around here where this candle is. And I'm not sure how it looks on your end, but I can see this gold thing coming off, and it's almost like rays coming off the sun in a strange way. But it's that kind of color that I noticed that in the candle flame, if you will, but more gold and brighter, but very similar to a candle flame, as that this is what our souls are made out of. And I think that in my own thought process with this over the last few days, how many times have I sat before a fire? Anytime I've done a ceremony, it's with candles or some type of fire or something, to do a drum circle. Even for myself, I'm going to light a fire or at least have candles burning. So there's something important about the light of a candle. I mean, and candles, they used ancient oil lamps in the old days and things, but the things done by candlelight or natural light, there's just something about it. So when always consider that when you're doing a ceremony, and understand that even if you're sitting at the kitchen table, you can draw the energy of the universe with your intent on just one candle. Because you say, okay, I'm not outside, I'm in the kitchen, but I'm going to focus on the candle and I'm going to pretend I'm in the Sherwood Forest or something. You know what I'm saying? So there are other ways around it. Now, being outside in nature absolutely, definitely helps. I mean, I'm feeling a charge from Mother Earth, even though I'm sitting on a quilt to protect me from the. It really rained a lot here last night. Just saying. Um, but I was going to sit right on the earth, and I was like, if I'm sitting out here for 30 minutes, my bottom's going to be soaking wet, and then it's like going to be really uncomfortable, and it's like sitting in wet a bathing suit after coming off of the out of the off of the beach or something. You know, you're sitting in the back of the car and your crotch is itching because you got sand in your shorts. Anyway, but so I was trying to avoid that. But my point about that is I can feel the energy come through the quilt, you know, and I've got, you know, they are our body parts of me, my legs sitting over here, and it's on the ground off of the quilt. Um, so I can feel the energy of Mother Earth, and at the same time, I can feel the draw. Oh, now there's a jet and flashing lights. Now, see, I heard it, but then it's way over yonder. Now, see, the UFO I've been watching, I'm facing that direction, by the way, is bigger than what just went over as a jet with, and I can see I can tell that it's a jet because I can see the wing lights and everything flashing. So I know what I'm looking at when I say that ain't normal down yonder. But anyway, but I'm sitting outside so that I can send these prayers just straight through the universe. I got a tin roof, and it's like, okay, you know, tonight I was like, I want the energy. I don't want anything over my head. I want it to go straight up, you know. I know that sounds crazy and silly, but you know, I was drawn outside to do this tonight. Now, more about ceremony. Now, so in my prayer, if I've done some drumming, then I'm going to bring to the ceremony whatever my prayer is. So I've saged my area, I've saged myself, I've gave blessing to the all the directions. I've given thanks with tobacco smoke in all the directions, and I've drummed and brought forth, you know, the drum, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. I've shared my own song in the ceremony to bring in my to show my honor to the spirits. And I'm not speaking to any particular, it's creator, it's to the source. My prayer is to the universe. So I came out here without any particular intent with this ceremony, other than to say thank you all for sharing your wonderful energy. I'm You've already said for what little bit I can. I don't, my glasses are around here somewhere and it's hard to read through the candlelight, but from what I can say, thank you all as well. I'm sharing this because as a shaman, I'm supposed to do this. And I want to make you all perfectly clear. It's not like I feel obligated, even though Creator kicks me in the butt sometimes and said, okay, it's not raining. What's your excuse? All right, I'll go outside. You know, so, but, you know, sometimes I feel like it is a mandatory thing. And in a way, it is. You know, when if you're picking up certain energies or things, and other people are searching for information, then from my standpoint, it's a crime to withhold energy for somebody else, or information, if you will. I say energy, but I meant that too. But to withhold any kind of information that might help somebody on their journey. And if somebody says, wow, I got a drum, wow, I got a candle, wow, I'm going to go sit out back under the old oak tree and I'm going to commune with nature. Wow, you know, and if this little demonstration here helps someone to do that in their own spiritual way to help them connect with the universe, then thank you for allowing me to share this with you. And that's and I feel very humbled sitting here on the ground being able to share this with you. You know, you hear me talk about humbleness all the time, but I'm trying to fight off having tears because I never thought that I was going to be able to do something like this and share it with someone, anyone, who would actually get what I'm talking about, and how simple things can go a long way. So you all are extending your energy, and my prayer is continuing. It's like there's a, I don't know, you all might see it. It feels like there's a beam of energy going out the top of my head right now, up to the universe with the prayers, and it's all good. I don't feel a one little bit of shadow or negative or anything in there. It's all good, clean, shooting up to the universe. And so I'm sharing that with you all. And during this process, it's also sort of proof of the synchronicity of things and how we all are connected. And if you can feel the energy of this prayer, then that ought to just say, not that I'm a special person, but that all of you are special people because you're sharing this with me and you're sharing it with each other and you're sharing it with source and to the energy into the universe. And all of our prayers are going out there and being amplified by other beings who might just be sitting around meditating, and all of a sudden they get a little charge, and it might be you and me praying for goodness in the universe. And they go, wow, I can feel that energy from somewhere. And it might be our prayer, because that's how strong it can be when our intent is so pure and so obvious and so loving with compassion. And I have no, what am I going to, it's not, I don't go into this thinking, what am I going to get out of this? Mm-mm. No, it can't be that. That's about the ego. I have to do this selflessly. I didn't want to come out here. I was like, I'm not prepared. And they was like, nah, you're going to do this right now. It's important. I gathered my stuff. I came out here, and now I'm talking to you for the last 42 minutes, and blessings to each and every one of you. But for every time that I think that, well, I don't know if we're making any headway, the amount of people who are waking up to a higher vibration, and you all are part of the group easily. We are the league of like-minded beings. I say that with jest, but I say that with a lot of honor and respect to each and every one of you. And so it's like, so my prayer right now, so is to continue on with this. Oh my goodness, the UFO's back, y'all. Oh, I wish you could see it. I'm serious. Oh, I thought that was, oh no, that's it. Oh, holy carp, y'all. I was told last night that if I came outside and looked, that my Palladian brothers and sisters were going to start showing themselves more to me. And I was like, okay, I'll take what I can get, but I understand that, decloaking of, a ship to the third dimension from a fourth dimension or higher type of vessel is like difficult at best. But I'm looking south over there right now. And if I block the light from it's really bright. It's brighter than the airplane that just went over a few minutes ago that I was just discussing. And that's not an airplane. That's the UFO I've been talking about, sitting right out. Now, it's a long way away. It's a lot further south than the Florida line. I proved that to myself by driving there Christmas Eve. But it's like, for, whoa, it just shifted that way like big time. Well, that was weird. You Usually it goes across the sky really slow, like it's on patrol or something. And I've looked at it on Google Earth and so forth. And actually, from where I'm looking, that craft is over the Gulf of Mexico, south of St. Mark's and Panacea and Carabel's more to the west of us from where I'm looking. But what I'm looking at right now, I've determined isn't over Florida. It's over the ocean, by the way. Just saying. For anybody south in Florida, look out over the Gulf and towards Tallahassee, if you know where you're at in Florida, and see what you see, because it's really bright. And it's moving a lot faster tonight than it normally does. And it's not a helicopter. There are other different kind of lights. So that's interesting. Now I can hear a jet overhead, and I can see lights but see, they're nowhere near as bright as that thing is down there in the south. Just saying. So You know, that's interesting that they showed up tonight, you know, while I'm doing a live stream and pointed in their direction. That's interesting in itself. I wished I could, you know, give you a picture of it, but I've tried several times to get a shot of it, and it just looks like a really bright star. But when you look at it through binoculars, it's got these changing colors and shapes. It's really cool. But anyway, so back to the ceremony part. So maybe that was the ceremony tonight, was to give a prayer to the universe and say, okay, all y'all good. I know there are good ETs out there because I've seen the results of it. And so it's like, you know, I'm going to continue praying that they have success in the war that's going on over our heads, you know, whatever the things that are going on. And I've testified and witnessed some things that I've seen over the sky over my house. And Pamela, hello to you, Ice Station, Melanie, Marie. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that I can't see y'all there, Ice Station. I haven't felt like this in a long time. We are all together in that and in this time. Absolutely, thank you very much. And the thing is that you know, in a way, this is sort of like an open. Well, it's sort of like a cosmic chat room in the head, if you will, in that we've all, you know, are whatever frequency that we're communicating with, and I can feel it buzzing in my brain. And it's that, you know, that's that psychic level. That's that's that synchronicity thing that happens between people. Well, I thought about that. Well, so did I. And, you know, that's happened a couple of times, you know. Yes, continued success to our star family, and also the inner Earth beings who are fighting from the inside out. For some reason, they're telling me I need to include that into the prayer tonight, because forces are moving in two directions, if you will. But so now, if I, depending on what I was going to do, I'm going to try to stay on track with the discussion about ceremony. Now that I've blessed, said, you know, done these initial things, then I'm going to sit down and then I'm going to meditate or pray or um, maybe I'm going to burn more sage or maybe I'm there. I need to dance and do a drum, for example, to help my prayer, you know, reach upwards. It depends on what it is. Like if it's for healing, or maybe it's for specific information about something. There are times when I've done a ceremony to learn how to do another ceremony. It's like, okay, you know, to the west, you look to the west because that's where things have already happened. That's the past. We look to the east and quote, say our prayers to the east because that's what's coming towards us. That's the morning, if you will. So, and to the south, that's where all of the retired old beings are. There's a lot of knowledge in there, but it's ancient knowledge. But there, that's to the south, and the beings to the north are like the big winged birds, like the phoenixes and so forth. And they stay in the north because they're more protected up there. And but anyway, and there are different theories on that through different cultures. And but if you just think in general terms of the west, the sun's going down, it's already past. So if you wish to meditate on something in the past that you want to know about, then you focus your energy towards the west. And so your prayer is then, I want information about how to do another ceremony to cure someone, whatever your intent is. Or if I'm trying to look forward to see what's going to come to the future, then I sit and I face the east. And then my prayers and my meditation and my intent is show me what is to come. So there are different types of things that you can quote sacrifice. Now, I have done a blood ceremony, but that was because I needed to put my blood into a ceremony onto this piece of property to seal an agreement. And it was just a little bit of blood from my hand, and I didn't sacrifice anything, but it was a blood ceremony. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that everything that you do must require blood. No, this was a very particular, lengthy, several day ceremony to seal the deal with me, my shaman energy, and this property. And it was to seal in energy and prayers and protection. And so, and it required a little bit of my blood in to go in with the ceremony. Now, but other ceremonies, some maybe it's that you should bring a particular herb. Maybe it's a fruit. Maybe it you have to pray about or ask, your intuition. Okay, I want to do a ceremony for whatever. And maybe if it's just, to say thank you to the universe. So maybe you bring a plate of fruit and you offer it in each of the directions. And you say, well, what good does that do? Well, if I'm outside down here in the woods, I have set things out. So I will put maybe some grapes and a piece of banana out to the north and then to the south and then either side. And then later on, I find out that something came up and ate it, something removed it. So I make the quote sacrifice using fruit or whatever it may be. It's very rarely any kind of meat or anything like that. I mean, I can't remember when I was ever asked to like bring something dead. It's always bring something fresh or an herb or maybe I mix up two or three herbs and I boil it over the fire and then maybe I drink the tea. Maybe that's part of the ceremony. And it's nothing about being high, but it is about being cleansed. It is about maybe mixing pine needles and chamomile and a little something else actually has something that will help my spirit receive a particular vibration. So, there is being in tune with things. So, when I talk about before about, becoming in tune with nature and talking to trees and understanding the microcosm of things, as well as the macro, the rest of the universe, and how everything is connected as we all are right now in this particular way, is that we understand that all of these different things will have whatever the effects it may be. And it may be that just the smell of the tea infusing over the fire is what brings the senses, maybe it's the smell that brings quote a vision to me when there's nothing hallucinogenic about it, but it's part of the ceremony that you're in. You're seeking knowledge, and it has nothing to do with getting high. You can get high just by doing a simple ceremony, you know, just with your intent and saying, I wish, if you've banished all the darkness around you and you've blessed yourself and consecrated your space by, saging your area. And, I always kind of put a little blessing on my blanket. So it's sort of like my magic carpet, if you will. And so my blanket is blessed. So wherever I go with my blanket, then I'm protected with this space. So it's not necessarily a spell, but it's like in my mind, I've got my magic blanket, therefore I am protected. So it's sort of like a running prayer in my head, if you will. Magic blanket, I'm safe, but it falls in with each of the ceremonies that I use because each time I say thank you, I bless the up and down and all around, and that in that my blanket is always blessed as well. So, and if I'm going to do anything that might even invite something nasty, I make dang sure that my circle is complete. I make dang sure that if I'm going to do a ceremony for several hours, build a fire, take 2 days, and do all this stuff, I want that circle protected. Now, I've blessed my area tonight, but I'm not doing a big shindig. So they're everything in its place. So now I would offer up my prayer as towards the middle ending of the ceremony. So I will just, as I always do, include you. I will continue to say, with this prayer and with this drum and with these candles and with the tobacco and the sage that I've offered up here tonight and that we have all shared on all the various parts of this planet, I wish to thank the universe, thank Creator, and to thank all of the spirits and all of the entities and all of the realms, all of yours, mine, and our relations, all of our relatives. Thank you for the blessings and the healings we continue to receive. Thank you for the energies that are coming in right now and are making some of us feel like we're inside of a microwave, but that each one of us will receive these healings and continue to upgrade ourselves. I say thank you to the universe for all of the people involved here, all your friends and family. May we continue this journey and continue to seek and receive this wonderful energy. So, without that was just off the cuff without any preparation, but I love you all. And so I'm going to do a little drumming because they're telling me I got to do a little bit of final drum here. So if I could stand up and do a little dance, I would, but I got a cramp in my legs, so I'm going to sit here on the ground right now for at the moment. It's going to take two hands to stand up after this. I'm okay, but I really do have a cramp. We know we want it, we don't hear. We know we want it, we no here. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, no, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, no, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Way on, hey, hey, oh, hey. Way on, hey, hey, oh, hey. Ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, nah, hey, ah, we nah, hey. Wado. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Spirits. Thank you to all the entities and all of the energies that surround us. Thank you for the ability to drum, and thank you for the ability to be able to share a song and a prayer. So it's almost an hour. I didn't know how long this would last, but I seriously have a butt cramp. Honestly, I do. And so, with an hour, and uh, I really don't have anything else other to say. And that always make sure that you always show respect in the ceremony that you do, whether it's a drum or not. And I just brought this stuff together tonight without any plans, and it seems like Creator knew as they were talking about for me to come do this. So, and I picked my drum back up, and you all have no idea the blessing there is in that for me. And you all shared it with me. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you, my spiritual friends and my brethren from the stars, because in order to be able to drum after 3 years and share it with you folks, man, that's special for me. Very special. But and I thank you very much. Let's continue this on. I got to get rid of this butt cramp here. Seriously. Um, Thank you, Michelle, Marie, Pamela. Much love, my sister. Back at you. Love when you sing and drum. Thank you. They're asking me to do another one, but I'm going to do more preparations. This was literally I did this in 15 minutes. Put this little thing together. So, talk about no planning, but Creator says, gonna do what I ask you, kick me around a little bit. I say that humorously, but sometimes it's like, no, but I wouldn't plan it. Come on, give me a little nah, go do it, Hawkeye. Go sit down and do this drum because there are people who need to sit down and listen with this and share with me. And the fact that they allowed me to pick my drum back up, the spirits are saying it's good again. So thank you for, yes, it's on the fly. Very much so. So I will end this little session here. Be always be respectful when you close up your ceremony. In that you basically just say thank you when you blow out a candle. Say thank you, candle, for the energy that you provided. Say thank you to the drums. Say thank you to the burnt sage. Say thank you to just say thanks as you're putting stuff away. Just say thank you for those objects that were used during your ceremony. And some people say, well, what's that got to do with it? because they were tools that you used in order to achieve a higher level of spirituality and to share it with the universe. That makes these items sacred. If I were a witch or a Wiccan or a sorcerer or something that you use over and over and over again with the same amount of intent, with the same, hopefully, good energy, then every time you use it, it amplifies it. So I use the same candlestick holder I've had for 30 years. I use this other thing. Other than this candle, which is new, um, the objects that I use. I mean, my drum is almost 20 years old now, and so the things that I use, because I use them in repetition, in meaning that I use them um, every time. Well, wait, let me. I use my tools every time they're necessary. Not every tool is used in every ceremony. I may use the same candlestick holder or this it's the same drum, but there might be another item or two that is different. Depends on the ceremony. But basically, that I use mostly the same items. Sometimes not all of them, and sometimes just a few. Grab a candle, grab the blanket, and out the door I go with some sage and tobacco, and there we go. And so this, which is basically what I did here with this. Now, um, I'm going to do a future ceremony, and I'm going to do it in a two part. The first part's going to be before dark, and I'm going to show you how I laid out certain rocks and crystals on the ground and to the different coordinates, so to speak. It's going to be like a medicine wheel. Um, and I'm going to show you how I lay out the medicine wheel and why I'm doing north, south, east, and west, and each, that I'll be doing a prayer for each of the cardinal points and any points in between. But and then later on, I'm going to wait till after dark, and then my plan is to have a small fire, and then do just a little bit more traditional, if you will. I don't know how well it'll show up on with the camera live stream, but that's my goal. And if nothing else, I'll be able to show you how. Uh, a larger circle would be made, for like, say, just a personal dance fire, if you will, like 10 feet in diameter, something like that, with a small fire, yay big kind of thing. You don't really need a lot of fire, as long as it's all about intent. So, but anyway, that's my plan for, in the future. So look forward to that. And I may just do another one like this. Who knows? I wasn't planning this one when I started. So, but thank you all. I love you all, and I'll close with this prayer. I know you all just continue with the honor and respect. There are places where sometimes you go, well, I don't know, just always remember to, if you show respect and honor to yourself, and that any person that you meet, regardless of how they like you, it's like a shield. And and creator, the our star seed family is listening to that kind of thing. So when we check our emotions, and where we might have gotten angry or cursed somebody out before, now we've done something that it's like, wait a minute, the energy has changed within you, because now, instead of overreacting to something, you're acting more with a cooler head and with a higher thought pattern, and without, wait a minute, these dingbats can't harm me, kind of thing. That's putting it very simply put. But with that said, though, so we need to continue that. This is how we fix the future. It is working. I know there are a lot of folks out there going, oh, this love and prayers bullshit is not working. And I'm saying, hang on, y'all. I'm one of the people way back when it was like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. That's it. There's no hope. And now I'm one of the people saying, hang on, folks. We've been on the edge of a cliff for a long time, on planet Earth and different things. And it's like, regardless of whether or not, a volcano blows us off the face of the earth or not, we still need to have our spirits right. And I'm not looking for a catastrophe. That's not the point. The bottom line is we still need to do this soul work. Regardless of what happens, we still need to do the soul work. And that's our top priority. And when you do your soul work, everything else kind of falls in line. Sure, I have bad days. We all do, but that's not the point. If we keep our higher vibration, it protects us up to a point with some of the negative energy that'll come in. And it allows ET, and I'm just not necessarily UFO ET, but the universe of higher beings, if you will, in that they can hear us. And because our frequencies are changing, and because you and I are changing, we just had this wonderful hour of prayer to show this up to the universe. They're hearing this stuff and going, hallelujah. There's humans down there that are actually dadgum paying attention. I hear a couple of them giggling right now. They're sort of at the space bar going, look at them damn humans down there, But anyway, butt cramp, I really got to go. But I love you. I love you. I love you. Beautiful sage advice. Thank you. It's working. Love you, neighbor, as yourself, and more so. Um, how can we become a higher being if we won't think as a higher being? Just I'm just tossing that out there. There are a lot of people that are like, well, I don't know, this love for everybody and this positive energy. Oh, that's just a bunch of horse manure. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you keep thinking then it won't work. But if there's too many of us who are already waking up and all these other things are happening, so don't stay out of the mud, if you will. There are folks who are on the path, but they're stuck in the mud going, well, we're not really making a change. Yes, we are. We got to keep that positive attitude. So I love you all, butt cramps and all. I send a little bit of humor and a lot of cosmic hugs to you folk. Have a great week as much as you can. And I'll be back, and I've got several other discussions that need to come up. So, but I got to get off this cold ground and get out of this situation, the cramp situation I'm in at the moment. So love to you all. Thank you much. Continue your wondrous journeys. And as I always say, I pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, and all of your relations will continue to accept and receive the healing, the knowledge, and the wisdom of the universe. I continue to pray that every single one of you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, and all of your relations will continue to receive these wonderful blessings from the universe, and that you will continue to share them. I continue to pray that every single one of you and everyone that you meet will be touched with this divine light and continue to share this energy. Remember that there are good things in numbers. The number 3, I like to repeat. So blessings, blessings, blessings. Until next time, I am your humble servant, Mr. Hawkeye Two Feathers. Have a great